Well, this isn't ideal. So my tripod that I've been using for a few weeks now had an error. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Least Professional channel on YouTube. So we are in Calvary Cemetery near Bellefontaine, Ohio. And this is a perfect example of why you should keep your eyes open whenever you're out looking for things. So we just kind of stumbled upon the cemetery. We were actually en route to a different cemetery. And my wife just happened to spot a sign on the side of the road for Calvary Cemetery, so we decided to stop and check this one out. There's a really cool little family plot here. So some older cemeteries may have started as a family plot or something smaller for the community and have grown up around that plot or plots. This is a good example of one right here with a very unique fence. I've seen other cemeteries and family cemeteries like this. This is the first time I've seen an actual gated fenced in, and it's got some really unique design to it. So far I haven't found any statues. I think there's some smaller ones, so I'm going to be looking for those, as well as a few other things, and see if I can find anything really cool to take a picture of. This is a smaller stop, smaller cemetery. Not sure what all we're going to find. I've looked around a little bit, but I haven't really looked in depth. So I want to try and find a few things, just because I think every time we stop at a place like this, it's kind of out of the way. I like to try and capture whatever I can. I never know what image I'm going to get back later and see that image and think, man, I'm really glad I stopped to catch that image. And that's kind of a good lesson. Whenever you're out taking pictures, whether you're doing it for fun or something professional, maybe somebody paid you to take pictures or something like that, it's always good to take your time, slow down, and take a picture of as many things as you can. Really look close for subjects, because you never know when you're going to wind up with that one subject that you didn't think at the time would make a great shot. But when you go back and you start editing and you look at it, it turns out that it was an amazing picture. I've had a couple of those just in the last month and a half that at the time I was like, I don't know if this is going to turn out very well, but I'll take it anyway. And I got home and started editing, and they came out amazing, and I was so happy that I wound up taking them. So that's a good note, a good rule. Make sure you're paying close attention and taking a picture, even if you don't think that picture is going to turn out the best, because you never know 100% what pictures are going to turn out great and what pictures are not going to be that great. Keep that in mind whenever you're out and about, especially if you're practicing, learning, brand new to photography. It's a good habit to get into, just taking as many pictures as you can. Not only for the practice, but also just because you never know what's going to come out great and what's not. Well, this isn't ideal. So my tripod that I've been using for a few weeks now had an error. So there used to be a knob there that I could twist that would lock it in place. That knob just snapped. Thankfully, it was a cheaper tripod. I got it at Walmart for like 20 bucks, something like that. So it's not a huge loss, not the end of the world, but still kind of frustrating. I don't use the tripod all the time. I use it, I'll put the camera on it for stability or just to rest there while I'm recording, that kind of stuff. So it's not the end of the world. I'll just have to try and work around it until I get a new one. So that happened, but that happened as I was working on taking a picture actually up there, and then I came down here, found a water spigot thing that I wanted to take a picture of, and as I was trying to tighten down, it just snapped. But that happens. You kind of get what you pay for with tripods. I will say this tripod, not an official review of this tripod, just because I'm not really into doing official reviews at the moment. So like I said, this tripod I got at Walmart, it's an ONN tripod. I don't know the model, but just keep that in mind when you're looking for tripods. If you're trying to get something that's going to be a little steady for your camera, you obviously want to go a little bit bigger and bulkier. You get what you pay for. It's like with anything else. It was a cheaper tripod. It's not a huge loss. The tripod itself is still fine. It's just that one piece, and I'm sure I can find a way to jerry-rig it back together until I can get a new one. So not the end of the world, but something to keep in mind whenever you're out. Any number of things can go wrong. You can start pouring down rain, which thankfully today it has not, or you can have a tripod break, or any number of other things. I'm just glad it wasn't the camera itself, because that would have been a major loss. And this is why you stop at every place, because I found a couple of really cool little statues here, one of which being a pair of coveralls with flowers in them, as well as some frogs, little things in the pockets. It's kind of neat. The other one was a dog holding a flower basket. So a couple of things that I have yet or haven't seen before. And that's kind of the goal. Find things that I haven't seen before when I'm out here trying to find interesting statues. The goal, at least for me, is always to find something unique and interesting to take a picture of. If I'm going to share something, I want to share it with the world. I can edit it and I can make it look unique, but that's not always my ideal situation. Plus, after you've visited enough cemeteries, no matter where you're at, you're going to start to run into some of the same stuff. There's a lot of common features in cemeteries in general, just because mythology and religious beliefs kind of drive what we put into our cemeteries. That's not a bad thing. That tells a lot about the society, and it tells a lot about who we are. But that also means that the more cemeteries you visit, the more of the same types of things you're going to see. So I can't count the number of cemeteries that I've been in this area that have a statue of Jesus or Mary or a cross or some other kind of common religious symbol. And that's a product of the society as a whole. What people believe, and it takes form in the shape of life after death. And when it comes to burying our dead and going about it in the manner that we do, we want to give them respect and dignity and give them what they knew in life and what was important to them in life. And for a lot of people, that winds up being religious symbolism. Not everybody. There are a lot of times that I'll find really cool, interesting headstone designs, things like farmhouses painted on them, those kind of things, which are really, really neat and different and unique. But there's also the statue aspect. There's a lot of unique, different statues. But even then, there's only so many of those that can go around. A lot of statues, little boys, little girls, little turtles, dogs, that kind of stuff. So when I find a statue like the one I found over there with the overalls that have the flowers in them, that's something that's really cool and unique. Even the dog holding the flower basket in its mouth, that was really unique. And so it's those kind of things I'm going for. It doesn't have to necessarily be a unique, brand new thing. The statue I found in one of my previous videos, Jesus laying over top of the rock and praying, that was a different version. I've seen a lot of statues of like Jesus standing up with his hands down or his hands up in the air looking up at the sky. That's the first time I've seen one of him laying on a rock and praying. So those kind of things, when you find that variance and you find those different aspects, different ways of portraying even the same idea, whether it's a statue of Jesus or Mary or some other random statue, but finding those statues in a unique pose like that and something it stands out, and it's something that there might not be another statue anywhere in the world that is in that same pose or in that same way. And that's what makes it really cool and unique, to find those kind of things. So that's kind of part of my goal in this endeavor while I'm learning photography and learning how to edit videos and that kind of stuff along the way. When I'm finding new and unique statues to share, that makes it all worth it to me. And I try to share the location, or at least the name of every cemetery, about where it's at, so that if you're in the area and you want to come and check out some of these as well, and maybe try to take a different picture, get a different angle on the same type of statue, you can also do that. And if you're not in the area and you want to go out and try and find some unique statues, I'd love to see your local statues. Anything that you have in a cemetery that maybe we wouldn't have here, because different parts of the country and the world are going to have different types of statues, and every one of them is going to have something unique, some kind of characteristic in the area that will make it something good, fun to look at, something enjoyable, pleasing, and that can be edited down, or not even edited down. It doesn't have to be. If editing's not your thing, that's perfectly fine too. Snap the picture as is, upload it, share it, and of course you can always share it on the Discord. We've got our Discord server up and running, so anybody can come in and join, share your pictures in there. I'd love to see them. With that being said, the sun's starting to go down. It's starting to get, it's going to be dark here in a little bit, so I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. I want to thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit the thumbs up button. Hit the thumbs up button for my poor tripod. It's going to be limping along for a while. We'll have to see if we can get a replacement here soon. If you want to see more content like this, hit the subscribe button. hit the bell notification next to the subscribe button, because YouTube's lame and doesn't want you to see any of my videos. So by default, they won't have that checked. So hit the bell, leave a comment down below and let me know, have you seen any statues that were completely unique, that you'd never seen anything like that before, anywhere at all? Whether it's in pictures online, pictures that I've shot, or if you've seen something that's completely unique, let me know and tell me where it was at. So that's going to do it. Thank you for watching and have a great day.